Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today we're going to start with the basics till the exam day of FMG. So let's just get started. So the first point is, while starting studying, which platform to choose. तो मोस्टली ये क्वेश्चन सभी बच्चों को होता है कि शुड वी टेक मैरो, शुड वी टेक प्रेप और शुड वी टेक सेरेबेलम और एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म that can be suited to them. Personally, I have taken a prep ladder and I used prep ladder for 1.5 years before my exam. Is prep ladder better than Marrow or is Marrow better than prep ladder? Is still a big question. But अगर आप मुझे पूछोगे तो I felt like कि Marrow के जो question banks है that are much better than prep ladder के question banks. एंड मैरो के जो क्वेश्चंस रहते हैं वो बहुत सिमिलर रहते हैं टू द एग्जाम क्वेश्चंस. सो फॉर द क्वेश्चन पार्ट यू कैन डेफिनेटली गो विथ मैरो, बट ओवरऑल अगर प्रेप में अगर आप देखेंगे तो प्रेप में एक्स वर्जन जो आया है दैट इज आई फील इट्स मोर इंटरेस्टिंग देन एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म. और जो वीडियोस एंड सब्जेक्ट्स के एक्सप्लेनेशन है दैट इज बेटर इन प्रेप लैडर. But why is it important to take Marrow, prep ladder or cerebellum? uh, I forgot to mention about cerebellum. So cerebellum, I personally never use cerebellum, but in cerebellum you have BTR, which we will discuss later what is BTR and how Zainab ma'am teaches. So for BTR, if you need BTR, then you can definitely go for cerebellum. But I feel there is no much difference between the three platforms. If you even choose not to take any platform like Marrow, prepladder or cerebellum, it is completely fine. बट अगर मैं फॉरेन के एजुकेशन को कंपेयर करूंगी इंडियन एजुकेशन सिस्टम से, तो यू डोंट नीड मैरो, प्रेपलैडर और सेरेबेलम और एनी अदर प्लेटफॉर्म टू स्टडी द पोर्शन or the curriculum that we have, the exam that are conducted in our universities. But for a basic knowledge, you can definitely go with any of the three platforms. My personal favorite would be a prepladder for videos and Marrow for question bank. Also, there are two other platforms like Mist and Arise, which have online classes, live classes बोलते हैं उन्हें. तो you can join their classes for 6 months. That is around 6 month के classes रहते. Similar classes will be present in Cerebellum, and also there will be one more app called as Doc Tutorial. Doc Tutorial में भी classes रहते हैं. The second point is about planning and confusion watching too many YouTube videos. अभी जब मैंने start किया था अपना preparation, I watched like 10 to 15 YouTube videos before taking any platform, subjects. See, I'll tell you from the start. So मैं जब फर्स्ट टाइम जॉर्जिया, सो जॉर्जिया इज द प्लेस जहाँ से मैंने अपनी MBBS की डिग्री ली फ्रॉम न्यू विजन यूनिवर्सिटी. सो आई वॉज लाइक 18 जब मैं जब फर्स्ट टाइम जॉर्जिया गई थी. तो आई हैड जीरो क्लू और जीरो नॉलेज अबाउट एग्जाम्स लाइक FMG. I just knew that there's some exam that you have to give when you come back to India, and it is pretty easy. After giving this exam, I feel it is easy. It was not that difficult. Maybe it was some years they had difficult paper, but the year that I gave my exam, it was easy. But when I came to Georgia, I didn't knew that this exam would be like that tough, like a mental challenge exam थी वो, क्योंकि 19 subjects you have to know everything about every subject. You cannot leave one single subject. So it was mentally exhausting to remember everything about every subject. So I got to know about this exam when I was in second year or mid of second year. So that I knew from my seniors, and some of my seniors were like, okay, it's a fine exam, it's an okay exam. Few of them said it's a difficult exam. Once you get into this exam, जब ये exam आप देने की कोशिश करते हो या when you start the preparation, you will understand what are the difficulties, what are the problems, what are easy parts of this exam. After giving the exam, obviously I'll tell you that the exam was easy because I've already given the exam, I've already passed the exam. For me, the exam and the preparation, everything will be easy. But since the people who are watching this for the first time or who are watching how to prepare or how to start with the FMG preparation, for them this might be a challenge. So I would suggest that stop watching too many YouTube videos. Just You can just watch 2 or 3 videos which are like the latest ones, or like one which is very detailed. I hope this video is detailed enough for you to understand every bit of FMG exam. I'll try my best to give you every information, everything that I did for the exam. So I wouldn't say you don't watch any other people's YouTube video, but try to minimize the amount of videos you watch, because everyone will have a different opinion about the exam. Everyone will have different tactics, but at the end आपको खुद का ही tactic और खुद का ही logic लगा के, because सबका preparation का level, सबका understanding का level अलग रहता है. So if you are gonna go according to my plan, some of them will suit with this plan, some of them might not suit with the plan. So when you begin your preparation, you will automatically understand कि आप किस चीज़ में strong हो, किस चीज़ में weak हो, what are the things that you're good. Are you good at MCQ solving? Are you good at knowing the facts earlier? Are you able to complete your portion in 3 days? Like अगर मैंने कोई topic ले लिया, अगर मैंने कोई subject ले लिया, so I complete the subject in like 4 days, whereas my friends will complete in 2 days, or some of my friends will complete in 10 days. That variation happens. So you have to make your timetable. You have to make your plans according to yourself. ऐसे नहीं बोल रही हूँ कि अगर मैंने कुछ बोला है कि ये टाइम टेबल के हिसाब से जाओ, तो यू हैव टू गो लाइक दैट. समटाइम्स अगर मुझे ऑप्थाल में 2 दिन लग रहे हैं, मुझे ईएनटी में 4 लग रहे हैं, तो यू हैव टू चेंज द टाइम टेबल अकॉर्डिंग टू यू. I understand that sometimes timetables are important, but I believe कि अगर आपने अपना खुद का own routine और own schedule बनाया, तो that is more important. Or not to get influenced by like the people around you, how they are studying. You, there's no need to study according to them. You can make your own choices, you can choose anything else. Okay, now the next point is about marks distribution. I've always carried this one diary with me, and there's one another diary in which I've from day one I have mentioned about different types of subjects and what kind of marks that are going to be distributed. So this is my diary, I guess. I'm gonna blur blur the marks, but this is like 2025. I knew that I am gonna give the exam. I always manifested कि I'm gonna give the exam in 2025. I knew that I couldn't give it in Jan, but I was hoping that I can give it in July, and that happened. So you guys should also manifest ki like you are going to give the exam in particular month, so that you're mentally ready for the exam. Nor ki like, okay, I have time, I have this, I have that. You have to make yourself mentally ready 1 year before the exam, so that you know what you're going to do, or you know what challenges you have to face. You can make your own choices in that process. Okay, so I'll just mention the different subjects and then the marks or the questions that are most probably asked during the exam in the images. You can just screenshot them and just keep them, because if I tell you verbally, it's very difficult. The numbers can go up and down. Okay, the next point is about PYTs and PYQs. What is the difference between PYTs and PYQs? So PYT is previous year topics and PYQs are previous year questions. So PYQs are the questions that you have to solve. Like if you don't solve PYQs, there's like you should not even try to attempt the exam, is what I feel, because PYQs are so important. You understand what questions and how, what kind of questions and how the framing of the question is made for the exam. So if you solve a lot of PYQs, you would know like how the question framing is, and you can answer them correctly. So there are different ways in which you can solve the questions. Like some of them are like straight up one liner questions, which are very less, but then you have to know the facts. And if you know the facts, then basically it's very easy. If you know like what is the length of a child at this age, or what is the number of teeth present in a child as 2 years, so you have to, you do the formula, you get the answer. But sometimes you get a very long question, which is clinical based questions, which are asked more uh, in the previous few year exams. So you shouldn't be afraid of clinical based questions, because clinical based questions are the most easy questions, I what I feel. One liners are, if you just don't remember, like in my exam I had one question of what is the fixation for pap test. That was like a one liner question, and I got confused between two options, and at the end I choose the wrong option. So that was like a pretty easy question, but I messed up because I was confused between the two options. So one liners are very confusing. But clinicals, if they have asked something about clinical, like they have explained the patient and best step you can do, like if you want to if a young girl who is sexually active comes to you for a checkup, then this she has the symptoms, what is the next step? It's obviously pap test. Clinicals are very easy. Also, the picture questions, like the images one or the questions which have images, are very easy. You just need to remember the images. Mostly, they ask images related to X-rays or CTs or MRI. Try to remember the images and also try to revise the images more often because they are very easy. You can just see the image, you know the answer, and you can just go hop on to the answer. That is that simple. So PYTs, what are PYTs? Basically, PYTs are previous year topics, and once you solve the PYQs, you will know what are the previous year topics. Like I have a huge list of PYTs. Like here, I have the PYTs of orthopedics, which are like CTEV or splint, scoliosis, rickets, shoulder dislocation, Colles fracture. These are few examples of PY topics of orthopedics. Likewise, I have the previous year topics of every subject. I've mentioned the subject and I have written all the PYTs of opthal, it is muscles of eye. Then there was cataract type, amblyopia, Sitka syndrome, anterior uveitis. These are like the most asked topics. So these topics are the must topics that you have to know before the exam. These topics are like the golden topics which you know for sure. If there are supposedly 12 questions from opthal, there are chances that 8 to 10 questions might come from this PYTs. So you have a standing chance in the exam to get almost 10 questions right if you know all the PYTs. So remember to focus on PYTs and solve as many PYQs as possible, because once you start practicing PYQs, you know what you are lagging in. You know what topics are good and what topics are bad. If I am solving cataract and I'm also solving glaucoma, if I'm getting like out of 50, I'm getting like 40 questions right of cataract, and in glaucoma, out of 50, I'm getting only 20 right. I know that one of the topic is lacking. So I can focus more on the one in which I have scored less. My first GT and the GTs every month. Okay, so I gave my first GT when I started studying. After I started studying, I gave my first GT in March. I started studying for the FMGE in January 2024, and I gave my first GT in March 2024. And I scored, I guess, 93 or 98. Approx, I scored 93 and 98. I was pretty happy with my score because scoring 93 or 98 or nearly around 100 might tell you that you are good in your basics. Remember that when you're studying for your college, try to remember or try to build your basic topics or like the basic ground level of knowledge that you have about medicine at that point, because then you don't have to do that in the FMG preparation. If you're so good at normal topics like what is COPD, what is pulmonary fibrosis, what is asthma, these are the basic topics that you have to know while you're studying for your college exams, right? So if you know these topics, it might help you in FMG preparation because you don't have to learn these topics again and again when you're preparing for FMG. So remember, while doing your college studies, try to build this basic knowledge and information about all the different subjects. Oh, also, other than that, I try to give my GTs every month. So if I gave my first GT in March, the second one I gave around like June or July. Then in total, before the exam, I guess I gave like not more than 15 GTs. So I was preparing for 1.5 years. Give as many GTs as you want. You can just give like hundreds of GTs. But I felt like once you give a GT, you have to review the GT. That is important. You have to know what things you are lagging in, what things you're good in. So I'll give you a trick. So I used to do this one little thing after every GT. I used to make these columns. So, okay, so here you can see that my first GT I scored like 98 here. So after my first GT, I wrote all the subjects, and then beside that, I have written all the marks that I scored per. I used to give GTs from prepladder, and later in the last 2 months, I tried to give GTs and questions from Marrow because I felt like they are more closer to the actual exam as I mentioned earlier. तो जब मैंने जीटीज दी और मैंने माइक्रो लिखा, फिर माइक्रो में आउट ऑफ 13 आई स्कोर्ड लाइक 10 क्वेश्चंस आर राइट फ्रॉम माइक्रो. So I know that this subject is nice. Then I have written all the subjects and I've mentioned all the marks that I've scored in particular subjects. So in Pedia, out of 14, I got only 3 right. So my Pedia was very weak. So I knew that I have to focus on Pedia. I have to learn Pedia. This is before starting. I would definitely suggest you guys to, before starting your preparation for FMG, you should just give one GT and maybe then stop for like 5 to 6 months. If you have like a time period of 1 or 2 years, you just give one GT to know where you stand in this exam. You can just understand what is your caliber and then go forward with the exam. So I would definitely suggest you to give one GT. There are lots of free GTs available on Marrow, prepladder, even cerebellum, I guess, and other platforms also have free GTs. So definitely try to give one GT before you start the preparation. Then this is the first GT, this is the fourth GT, this is the second and third GT, and then the other GTs I've mentioned again. So I know in what subjects I was improving, in what subject I was not improving. The same analysis happens also in the app, but I felt like I should just write it down and see what I do good and what I didn't do. So after my first GT, which I scored 98, at the second one I scored like 120, but in the third I scored like 102. So the GT marks were very fluctuating, and I never went with GT that how much study I was doing, because even after 4 months I could only improve like 10 marks or 20 marks, and I wasn't that consistent. So I never considered that GT is the actual, what can I say? GT is the actual way to analyze my improvement in the studies. But you have to give GTs because, see, why do people give GTs before exam? First of all, you have to self analyze that where do you stand. Other than that, remember that never feel that if you score less in the GT, you will score less in the final exam. The last GT that I gave, I remember I gave it around 12 or around 12 of July. I scored from Marrow. I scored like 146. I didn't even cross 150. I was so heartbroken. I was so miserable. I was like literally crying because I scored like 146. I didn't even cross 150, which is like the basic requirement to pass FMG. But in the final exam, I scored about 200. So GTs don't tell you that you are going to score this much in your exam. You give GTs so that you understand you can sit for 3 hours. You have to sit for 3 hours. And it is very frustrating for just to sit for 3 hours, even when you're finished with the first part. You go to the second part, then you finish the second part, you go to the third part, you're done with the third part. Until and unless all your time is over, you cannot move. Improve your patience, and that's it. You have to know how you're gonna perform in the exam by your own analysis and not because of the GTs. This is what I feel. Maybe some other people might have an other opinion, but this is what I felt with the GTs. So definitely give as many GTs as possible if you have more time, and if you have less time, try to give at least 3 GTs before your exam, 3 to 4 GTs. That is like the basic. Okay. So next one is a very interesting topic. Using YouTube videos and channels for your FMG preparation. Oh my god, I cannot emphasize on this YouTube channel which is called as Dr. Bhanu Prakash channel. It has the best YouTube videos ever. They have so many rapid revisions, they have so many questions discussion or test discussions from a variety of lecturers for the FMG. And they do include some of my favorite uh, faculty for FMG. So definitely go and check the YouTube channel of Dr. Bhanu Prakash sir. Suggest you checking his YouTube videos, like the channel and the YouTube videos, because they are amazing. I have skipped so many of my faculty of prep ladder. I'm trying to be just honest. I've skipped so many prep ladder and other platforms ke faculty because that was not suiting to me. I didn't understood a lot from them. I would used to go and watch the videos from Bhanu Prakash sir's channel. They have rapid revision. I would highly suggest you to watch the rapid revision of different teachers and sirs. I'll obviously mention different sirs and teachers that I felt like are the best for different subjects. Seventh one is to find different faculties and sticking to them. Okay. Remember one thing: if you find a teacher and that suits you, just stick with them. There's no need to change the teacher. If you hear from someone ki like, okay, this teacher is great, that teacher is great, I feel this teacher has a higher chances of giving the right answers, or he knows a lot about FMG than the other. I feel all the faculty who are teaching FMG are amazing. They have immense knowledge, but that doesn't mean that every teacher is going to suit you. For me, few teachers were good, few teachers were amazing. You have to find your own favorite teacher and you have to stick with them till the last day of your FMG preparation. Okay, so if you ask me personally what are or who were my favorite faculties for FMG subject wise, I'll give you the list. For anatomy, if you ask me, I feel like Azam sir is the best sir for anatomy. He knows what kind of questions are going to come for the exam, and but that is also my personal opinion. You can go with Azam sir or you can find another faculty if that suits you. So for me, Azam sir was the best sir for anatomy. Also, Azam sir is on prep ladder, so you can check his videos on prep ladder where they are really great. I did anatomy 1 year before my exam, and then I opened anatomy 5 days before my exam because I was lacking so much of time. I'll tell you why I was in such a hurry. Why didn't I had the time to study properly? So I'll explain you later that. But I opened anatomy after maybe 1 year, and I still remember the things that he said. For physio, I felt like Dr. Sri Teja is great. He has very conceptual knowledge and he explains very well. So I feel like you can find his videos on YouTube if you want. So Dr. Sri Teja. Bio, obviously my favorite, Priyan Jain sir. After doing bio from him, I have never looked for any other teacher. I had a 6 page. Okay, I'll tell you. These are the 6 pages for biochemistry, which is called as the LMR of biochem. So in this LMR of biochem, they have explained like the important points, like what are the pathway and what is the site and what is the rate limiting factor. Then this is the page where you have GLUT1, GLUT2 transporters and the vitamins का. And then there's another one. आपको दिख ही सकता है इसकी हालत कितनी खराब है because I've read it so many times, and this is by Azam sir. He has explained the 6 pages and more because I've added few points later. You can just go with this and remember to read it every week during the last 2 months of your exam. Before the last 2 months of your exam, you need to read this every week. Like every week once, you have to go through this LMR. I was not able to do this, but I would suggest you to go through this because they are pretty good. I might have the PDF form as well of this. If I find them, I'll just send them into my Telegram channel. You can just check that. For Patho, I did Preeti ma'am for sure. Like I was using Prep Ladder. I took Prep Ladder because and for Preeti ma'am. So Preeti ma'am, I know there's a vast portion of patho and medicine are the two subjects which never ends. What I feel, they never finish. So patho I did from Preeti ma'am, and I had the RR books of prepladder, so I did it from them. Also, you can remember this while buying the books. Some people might buy the whole set of books, like the actual videos ka notes, and some people might buy rapid revision ka notes. I personally felt like I should not go for the actual videos ka notes and go for the rapid revision ke notes. I'll tell you why. First of all, I thought like I had like a 1.5 year. I didn't even knew that I had one and a half year of time. Might be 2 years. I took prep ladder for 2 years. I thought that I might give the exam in 2 years. So I had 2 years ka time. There were 19 subjects. I can, for me, if I'm learning something, I watch the video, I'll write it. If I write it, I remember it. So I thought that instead of if I'm going with the main videos, why should I just buy the main videos ka notes? I can just write it. So I wrote the main videos ka notes. I have that separately, but I felt like rapid revision is something which I'll be needing in the last 6 months, and I cannot waste my time while writing notes in the last 6 months because I'll have less time. That's why I decided to go with the rapid revision ke notes ke book. I'll show you what are the books. Now this is the rapid revision book of Prep Ladder, and it consists of opthal, psychiatry, anesthesia, dermat, orthopedics, and radiology. And then this is how I used to just highlight the points that I felt are important, and then mention something. If I find something is important, I just used to write it in this book. So my rapid revision used to go pretty faster as compared to other subjects. Now this is of opthal, which I used to hate a lot, but then I have to do it. So for patho I did Preeti ma'am. Micro also I did Preeti ma'am. I did the main videos of Preeti ma'am, but then in the end of 2 months, when I had only 2 months, I was super duper scared of micro. I couldn't remember anything about micro. And then I went with Salman sir. Oh my god, I cannot tell you that PDF of micro is the only PDF of micro that you have to do for your last 2 months, because that PDF of micro is so important. I'll just show you what PDF I'm talking about. This is the PDF that I'm talking about. If you're not able to see this, I'll just pop the picture. This microbiology arise medical academy material by Salman sir is the best material. You need to remember everything from this PDF. This PDF is very important. In the last 2 months of my preparation, I used to teach this PDF to one of my friends, because when I used to teach him the PDF, I used to automatically remember. I used to watch BTR, then I have to watch some YouTube videos, and then I have to teach him the PDF. So automatically the PDF got remembered. I remember everything about this PDF because this is like the holy grail of PDF for the microbiology. So for micro, even though for getting the concept clear, you can go with Preeti ma'am, but at the end, I would suggest you to go with for Salman sir and do this PDF for sure. For surgery, I did Pritesh Singh sir's rapid revision notes. I didn't have the time to do the main videos. I was trying to do the main videos, but then later I didn't have the time. So I had to switch to the rapid revision notes of surgery. Medicine is a very interesting subject. I'll tell about that later. PSM, obviously, I went with Neha Taneja ma'am. She teaches amazingly. I also did rapid revision of PSM. I didn't do the main videos of the PSM. I did the rapid revision of surgery. I did the rapid revision of PSM. OBGY was the first subject that I started my preparation with. I did this from Prasanvit sir because he was teaching at that point in Prep Ladder, and I felt he was great. I enjoyed OBGY because of him, so I would suggest Prasanvit sir. ENT, oh my god, ENT is a subject which I thought I would never understand, but Rajiv Dhawan sir has explained ENT to an another level. He has made ENT so easy, so interesting. I just love ENT now, and it is only and only because of him. So I would suggest you to watch Rajiv Dhawan sir's note videos for ENT. I also have his like printable copies. I took the printable copies of Rajiv Devan sir. Get the workbook, but I just xeroxed it because I didn't have. I was in Georgia, so this is the PD, like the. You can also use it in your tablet, but I thought I just printed. So the way I highlighted it and the way I added points that I felt like are important. Before your exam, you can just go through. Those are around like one video is of 12 hours and the other one is of 8 hours around something. So if you do this for 3 days, you're done with ENT. The whole ENT is done in 3 days. But then I would suggest you to watch his rapid revision, which is like a newer video. I don't remember. I guess it's on the Bhanuprakash sir channel as well. You can just go and watch his rapid revision videos from the YouTube. It's around 3 hours, I guess. So that is also very helpful. You will understand the concepts. You know how to differentiate the different topics. It's very important. Next is opthal. Opthal was the subject that I struggled the most, and I felt like opthal is something that if you get it, you get it. If you don't get it, you don't get it. So for opthal, I went with Shashwat Racer's YouTube video. It's around 8 to 10 hours, I guess. I don't remember the exact timing of the opthal video, but it's around 8 to 10 hours. And he was great. I After that I even went with a rapid revision of prepladder by Ruchi Rai ma'am, and then with the notes radio. Uh, I'll give you 100% assurance that for radio you have to watch Zainab Vohra ma'am's videos, like nothing else other than her video, because she is the best. I understand there are other faculty, but I don't feel like anyone can explain the concept as clearly, as crisply, or as point to point as Zainab ma'am. And I would suggest you to go with Zainab ma'am for radio. Derma, Anesthesia, I went with the prepladder faculty and I watched their main videos, I guess. And then later I went with the rapid revision as well. And same with the psychiatry, I went with the prepladder faculty. Ankit Goel sir, I guess. Ankit Goel sir. Same with ortho, I went with the prepladder faculty because I thought that these are the smaller subjects, or four smaller subjects, I can just go with the prepladder faculty. So for the smaller subjects, I went with prepladder and then followed it with BTR. So you can also just do that, because following with BTR will give you a higher number of chances of answering the right answers. And just do the PYQs and that's it. You're done with the smaller subjects, but don't leave the smaller subjects. Next is FMT, foreign medical and toxicology. I was pretty confused, but then later I went with Nadeem sir. He has a video on YouTube. You can just watch his video on the YouTube. It is good. You understand everything about FMT. FMT feels very easy. I have suggested his videos to a lot of my friends and they have find that he is a really good teacher for FMT. Go with him. The Pedia is very easy if you have learned from him. Pharma. Pharma is the subject that I had dreaded the most. And for pharma, first I did Gobind Raigar sir's video and I forgot it. Then I went with Prep Ladder's faculty and I forgot it. Then came Salman sir, who had his live lectures in Georgia. I attended his live lectures for I guess 5 to 7 days. I guess it was for 5 days, and he covered almost everything in pharma. And I understood pharma. I remembered pharma, but then I forgot it. So basically, pharma is a subject that you're gonna forget. You just have to do it. I have heard like GRG sir is one of the best pharma sir. I felt like Salman sir is also pretty good. You can go with Salman sir. You can go with any other faculty of pharma if you wish to. And other than that, I had this few pages from pharma, which is also explained by Salman sir. I couldn't find the video, but these are the pages. Then I have written few drugs. I used to read these drugs every night before I used to sleep. Even though I don't remember them, I used to just read it, and I used to just try to read it as fast as possible. I just used to finish it in 10 minutes and just go to the sleep. Just go to sleep. Pharma was the subject that I hated the most, and if you love pharma, then that's good because you get a lot of questions from pharma. In my exam, there were so many questions of pharma. I did pharma in the last 10 days. I thank my gods and thank my stars that I did pharma in the last 10 days because there were so many questions for pharma. I was so scared about pharma. I did this and few other things here and there from pharma. Like I saw the PYQs, then I watched some other pharmaca videos from Mist. That's it. I just try to remember which are important, like the what is the treatment of open angle glaucoma, close angle glaucoma, acute congestive glaucoma. So you have to remember the medicine. That is the only key to do the pharma. You cannot do anything else. But I feel GRG sir and Salman sir give you mnemonics and tricks to remember them. Also, he has a video about psychiatry, but I haven't watched it. But you can just check his psychiatry video as well. For me, FMT, it's Nadeem sir. For Pedia, it is Sandeep Sharma. Hands down, it is Sandeep Sharma and no one else. Um, I watched his 2 to 3 videos on the YouTube. I couldn't find his videos other than the YouTube platform. If you have his videos, well and good. Please stick with it. He is really good. And this is the pharmacology mist workbook. I also have this printable thing. So I have just written the things that he has explained in the workbook. Uh, he did a very good job in explaining pharma. Pharma felt very nice after I attended his class. So you can also just try and choose your own faculty. That's what I mentioned earlier as well. You can just choose your faculty. I can just tell you what suited me, but then after all, it's at the end, it's your choice. Medicine is something that I took the most. I felt like I took like 3 months to complete medicine. I did medicine from prepladder. It was Deepak Marwa sir, an amazing sir. But it took me 3 months to finish all the main videos of prepladder. That I felt like was the point where I did the mistake. It took me so much, and medicine is a subject that you never finish. That's what my friends used to tell me, and I used to think, no, I'm going to finish medicine. But I swear I couldn't finish medicine. Medicine is a subject that when you complete everything, automatically you will know a lot about medicine. So you have to just keep learning, you have to just keep going. Your medicine is gonna come to you any which way. Like it can come from patho, it can come from pharma. So medicine is gonna come, but you have to just keep doing it. Don't take more than, I would suggest, don't take more than 1 month for medicine. If the subjects are stretched, okay, I'll tell you, अगर एक subject stretch हो जाता है बहुत time तक, see, if I am doing a subject and it's taking me, I've given it 15 days, but it's taking 20 days now. My mood to do the subject is gone. On the 16th day, I would not feel like to do the subject. मेरा मन ही नहीं करता है कि मैं वो subject को फिर से पढूं या उसके बारे में कुछ और जानूं. 15 days, you have to finish a subject or else you go to the next subject, because then after, like, the next 4 days are a waste day for me. मुझे लगता है कि वो अगले 4 दिन तो मैं कुछ पढ़ ही नहीं रही हूँ, वो सब्जेक्ट को बस टाइम पास देख रही हूँ मैं. So try to maintain a period of time when you can complete the subject and try to finish the subject faster so that you feel interested कि जब पढ़ रहे हैं तब interesting लगेगा. You can do that. That's all. These are all the favorite faculties of mine, and you can just watch the videos if you like them, or you can just stick with your platform and choose the teachers that you are liking. Now, the main question that a lot of people have is, what is BTR? BTR, which is Buri Tarah Rato, is by Zainab Vora ma'am, and she is amazing in what she does. She has explained every concept so beautifully. I feel like if you just do BTR for the last 2 months, you're very much sorted to pass the final exam. It is that good. And she knows what concepts, what topics are going to come for the exam. So if you are, if you don't know anything, if you don't know about anything about a subject, just watch the BTR. It's not even that long. It's like some are of 4 hours, some are of 3 hours, some are of 6 hours, maybe. But if you have the time, you do the subject, then you do the BTR and keep on doing the BTR. Just revise the BTR again and again. She has explained very well how to do the BTR. Like the process when you start doing BTR, you watch the video, then you do active recall, and then you try to explain it to someone like a wall or something. I still remember her words, and you can just and you just remember the things. That's it. I would suggest every student who's appearing for FMG to just check her BTR once. Lots of your concept would be cleared. Lots of the questions are easily solvable because you have watched BTR. She gives some tricks to remember stuff. She has few mnemonics to remember different type of diseases or different type of things. You won't think about it, but she has already thought about it and she has made a beautiful video set of videos about it. So please do check her BTR. It's great. You they are pre- they are available on cerebellum, if I remember. Also few are present on Telegram, but I guess they are older versions, and there are few ways you can get the BTR, if you know. Okay. There were many questions from the LMR. I won't be lying because the LMR was that good. Yes, there were more than 200 sticky notes that were as important as 28 notebook. They were home chores. You have to do the modules are very much important to meet different faculty. We guys go through. You have an average of getting more than 200. Never in the top 20 or never message that your flight has been cancelled. This is the reason.